Okay.
Okay.
Actually, we only have an hour. It's 10:55.
That is very true.
That's
We've
right.
got this. We've got this.
Okay, it's live.
Okay, perfect. Would you like to introduce?
Okay, we are Group 9 in Business Law 275, and our topic this week was sorry, I'm blanking, the Fair Labor Standards Act, the FLSA. So do you want to read your example first, or do you want me to?
I can start with mine.
Okay.
So my article is called DOJ, the Department of Justice, asks for delay of LSA overtime rule deadline until June 30, and it's by Ryan Golden. So basically, the Department of Justice asked for one more day to delay the FLSA overtime rule deadline. And this overtime rule would increase the wage for exempt workers from 23,000 to 47,000 a year, with an automatic increase every 3 years. However, 21 states filed for a motion to block this rule in November and were granted the same. And the new deadline so far for this request rule is June 30. So yeah, that just was an article that I found very interesting because it would be a huge increase on the salary for so many people,
Mm-hmm.
and it's really not surprising that they wanted to push it back.
Yeah.
Like certain states already wanted it to be quashed, basically. So that was the article that I found. It was very informational. What about you?
So I found an article about Flower Foods Inc. It's a bakery that owns some bread companies like Wonder Bread and Nature's Own. Um, and they were battling like almost 2 dozen lawsuits from truck drivers who were claiming that they were incorrectly classified as independent contractors, which means that they missed out on overtime pay and benefits and other compensation.
Mm-hmm. That's
And
crazy.
so, so, so now, let's see. I'm looking at my thing. Um, so like there are supporters of Flower Foods that believe that the bakery doesn't own like the little last mile between the bakery and its customers. And if they have to bring on those drivers as actual employees, then
Mhm.
it will be very costly. They have to pay back wages and penalties and health care, as well as like current wages and everything, like overtime.
Mhm.
Uh, so because of all these lawsuits, Flowers Foods was notified by the U.S. Department of Labor that they were slated for a compliance review under the FLSA. So
Oh no.
yeah,
Oh
rough.
my gosh, that is an amazing article.
Thanks. That's
Crazy.
literally like the first one that popped up in my search.
That is perfect. Should we go ahead and use yours? Yours is like way more interesting than mine.
We can use mine. It's
That-
easy to copy and paste it.
That's crazy. That is a lot of money to be paid.
Yeah, yeah,
Wow.
crazy.
That is impressive. That's crazy.
On one hand, it would really suck for the bakery to have to like pay all of that and everything, but on the other, like there's all these truck drivers that are putting in this overtime and everything and they're not being paid for it.
Hmm.
Yeah. As well as like healthcare. Like healthcare is kind of a big deal. Sorry, my husband's calling me.
Oh no, you're totally fine.
Okay. Um yeah, anyway, so
It's crazy. Mm. So this will fall under the let me triple check. The mm, mm, mm. was chapter 26, wasn't it?
24.
24. I feel like since I read all this book, I'm all over the place because I don't really have like you read chapter 21 and 22 and then 22 and 24. Like we had to read chapter 14 and then 24. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's weird. It doesn't go in order.
No. Where is it? I'm trying to find the. Will this be under the Labor Management and Corporations Act? Or what did the article say?
It said it was under the Fair Labor Standards Act.
No, okay.
Yeah. Are you looking up something for our quiz question?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm looking for.
All right.
I'm just trying to find it in the in our book, like what kind of question should we phrase, and like that there will be a question that will give us the opportunity to draw good 3
Right.
wrong and 1 right answer. Mm, mm, mm. Okay, I think we'll be into the second one. 2, it says Fair Labor Standards Act. 2, mandates payment of time and half, 150% of the normal wage rate for overtime work with a regular work week with being 40 hours. Travel time from work from 2 to work generally is not compensable time unless it is part of preliminary and post-preliminary activities. Compensable activities include preparatory actions such as reading tools and equipment at the beginning of the workday, and post-work actions such as winding down operations and cleaning up the work site. So I think that would be the rule that they will be breaking in that case, right? Maybe they're just breaking zero rules because
Yep.
they're breaking that one. Mm, yeah. Hmm. I actually had to take, fun fact, at work I had to take a test concerning this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, good timing then.
Mhm. Um. Mm, wait. Would you read me the article again?
Yeah. So let's see. Flower Foods Inc., a bakery that owns Wonder Bread, Nature's Own, and Tasty Cake brands, was battling nearly 2 dozen lawsuits from drivers who claimed they were incorrectly classified as independent contractors, causing them to miss out on overtime pay, benefits, and other compensation given to regular employees. Supporters of Flower Foods believe that they don't own the last little mile between the bakery and its customers. And if they have to bring on those drivers as employees, as well as pay back wages, penalties, healthcare, etc., it will be very costly. Flowers was notified by the U.S. Department of Labor that they were slated for a compliance review under the Fair Labor Standards Act.
Wow. Um.
Yeah.
Let's do. This of a back wages. Okay. What about if we ask the question, what a specific FLSA rule did the flower
Flowers Foods, yeah.
flowers foods violated, and if it was willful, what um what will be the consequence? And it
Right.
says that willful FLSA violations can lead to fines and imprisonment. So we have like different ways that we can word the incorrect question and then just the one way.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, that sounds good to me. My brain's not working very fast today, so I'm glad you're on top of it.
No, no, it's all good. It's been such a long day.
But just looking at this, it looks like the main one that it violates is the overtime work.
Yeah, the second one.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Okay. How do we want to word our question?
Um, do we just ask under what fair or FLSA? Let's do what specific rule did the flower flower foods violate? Do you think it was willful? Could this did they violate it willfully? Did anyone in the article say that they did violate it willfully?
No, it didn't really say. Like, I don't know. It could be implied like that they did because they were trying to avoid all those costs of overtime pay and everything. But I don't know.
And then we can say, so let's just do like that two question part. What specific FLSA rule did the Flower Foods Company violate, and if it could be considered willful, like a willful violation, what would be the consequence?
Okay. Correct answer would be
The flavor products. You said flour products. Flour
flour.
foods. Flour foods violated rule number 2 concerning mandating payment of time and a half. So 150% of the normal wage rate for overtime work with a regular work week being 40 hours.
Okay. I'm just gonna put rule 2 concerning overtime pay.
Concern overtime pay. Yeah, that's perfect. Concerning overtime pay, and if
Would be fines.
imprisonment.
Hmm. I think maybe we should
Just
rework.
leave it.
I kind of have an idea. What
What?
if we asked what the possible consequences of violating um the FLSA rule?
Oh, instead of that? Oh, yeah, yeah. And then we can, those could be the
And
answers.
we could like change up the answers. So like just exclude like one of the consequences
And
or
then the other, and then we can do fines and jail time. We can do, yeah, we can do leads to fines and imprisonment as just, no, let's just do fines and imprisonment as the correct answer. And let's do just fines and then just imprisonment. And then let's do um, a warning
Mhm.
or um, fines, imprisonment. I think this actually it's a good idea. Yeah, it's a good idea. It takes it's perfect.
All right.
And the feedback could just be it's incorrect because it's fines and imprisonment, and the other one it's incorrect because it's imprisonment and fines.
Mhm.
And the correct feedback will be according to Barron's Business Law Book, Chapter 24, Employment Law, under subtitle Fair Labor Standards Act. It's stated that the willful FLSA violations can lead to fines and imprisonment. And for the third incorrect answer, we can say there are no there are no consequences,
Mhm.
or just like none of the above.
Like we could do like there are no consequences. Um,
Should we do none of the above?
we could do like something like um, I had something in my head and now I can't remember what it was. Something along those lines, like there would be no consequences. The truck drivers would just miss out on pay.
On the pay, yeah.
Okay, this is what I have. So for the correct answer,
Mhm.
is of course like the payment of back wages, civil penalties, injunctions, as well as fines and imprisonment if it was a willful violation, and then according to Barron's business law, these consequences. That's feedback. Wrong answer number one. Fines and imprisonment, whether the violation was willful or not. And the feedback on that one is fines and imprisonment are only for willful violations. Back wages, civil penalties, and injunctions could apply to non-willful violations.
Yes.
Wrong answer number two is only payment of back wages. And feedback is other penalties would apply depending whether or not the violation was willful. And the final wrong answer is Flower Foods would face no consequences. The drivers are just out of luck. And the feedback I put, there certainly would be consequences for Flowers Foods, including back wages, penalties, injunctions, fines, and even imprisonment if the violation was willful.
That's perfect.
Awesome. Alrighty. All I need is the link to the.
I shall stop the broadcast now.
Yeah.
Perfect. Let me know when it's